Hey guys, this is editor Landon for this video. So I've just been going through and editing everything. So big thing, found out I actually had COVID while I recorded this. So there's a lot of like COVID brain. I don't know. So some of my thoughts might be a little disjointed, but this is a little different for me. More just unscripted, just talking. So if you like it, let me know in the comments and like, subscribe, whatever, if you like it. I don't know. Anyway, here's the video.
So today is February 11th, and I wanted to just kind of talk about the experiences I've had playing my first 3 shows live with my band. I play with a band called I Will Remember This. I'm the bassist and one of the vocalists. And this is my first time playing music live, where it's my original music, and I'm singing. In the past, I haven't really considered myself a vocalist, so that's kind of been hard, I guess, because I've been playing music my whole life. Just taking it a step back, I guess. I've been playing piano since I was like 4 or 5. I stopped when I was in 6th grade so I could pick up trumpet. Then I learned baritone, then trombone, then drum set. Then I started playing bass when I was 17. And I kind of started trying to learn how to sing when I was around 17, 18. But I never was really good. I guess. I don't know. At least I never thought I was really good. But leading up to the point where I'm at today, I've been in so many failed bands where we didn't even create one song, right? It's just a bunch of guys getting together, and then nothing happens. So me and my friend Parker, we end up getting to a point where, like, dude, nothing's working out. Let's do a project with ourselves. And I took it upon myself, like, I had a couple demo tapes of me singing, and it just ended up that I started singing, right? Long story short. Fast forward to now, I never really thought I'd play live, I guess. That's a little not true. I wanted to play live, but never thought I could, I guess, because I'm like, I can't sing and play bass live. I can't sing in general, in my head, right? So I had to get over that fear. And then Parker just kept bugging me. He's like, dude, we need to play live. We need to play live. We need to play live. Then he found a guitarist, and then his brother plays drums. So we got some guys together, practiced for like 2 months, and we played our first live show on, I think it was December 6th. And then our second one on December 28th, and then our third one on January 10th. And to put it shortly, it's been a blast. Going back to the first show, right? Also, please forgive me. I'm a little under the weather, and I'm recording this because I just have not had much time or energy because I've been sick to record anything. Anyway, going back to December 6th. So we had, that was our first show, right? Taking it back a couple months. In August, I think, around August time, Parker is like, hey, like, we need to play a show. I'm like, finally, I said, yeah, sure, fine. If we can find a guitarist. Not found, but Parker asked his friend Vincent. Vincent said yes. Started practicing. I'm like, dude, I cannot do this. I cannot play live. I cannot play bass. I cannot sing all this and play live. But once we started practicing, I'm like, oh, like, I can actually do this. Like, enough practice, you can do something, right? So leading into the show, like, I've been playing music in front of people most of my life. Like, I was in marching band. I play bass for my church. All those things. So I'm like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. So day of the performance, we practice, we eat food, we get ready. And the time, I start driving to the venue with my wife, and I'm like, all of the butterflies in my stomach, like, everything just sinks, and I'm like, just the adrenaline kicks in. I'm like, oh no, like, I gotta perform in front of a bunch of people now. And we met some really cool people. When we showed up, met a band called Sylview. and then Barons, two amazing bands. Really appreciate being able to play with them and just like, yeah. Anyway, so going in, I was pretty nervous, and I'll probably throw some clips in here of the actual performance. Compared to our latest performance in January, like it is just so much different. Like I was so nervous. I didn't really say much in between songs. Everything was pretty scripted, like when we changed songs, what we said in between songs. And there was a lot of technical difficulties, which sucked. The mic for the bass drum is up too much, and it caused a lot of feedback. And it just cut through a lot of the sound for probably 2 or 3 songs of the show. I'll put a little clip here. But yeah, I couldn't hear much. I was nervous, whatever, right? But after the show, everyone came up to me, not everyone, but my friends, a couple people I didn't know just came up and were like, dude, that was amazing. That was great. There's some people from a couple of other bands. They're like, dude, there's no way that's your first show. That you guys did amazing. Which, for me, I am not really good at taking compliments. So I'm like, oh, they're just, they're just making it up, right? Something I'm working on is taking a compliment and being like, oh yeah, that's, great. I don't know. It's hard for me to internalize that, right? I had someone come up to me dude, you need to keep making music. The world needs to hear this. You have something special. It's really intimate, right? And it's really great. We sold a bunch of merch. Got some good laughs, had some fun. And then, I don't really know what I was expecting, but, I was up till 1, 2 a.m., whatever, right? But I wake up the next day, and then it's I don't know, life goes on, right? Yeah, life goes on. You're not a superstar. You're not super famous. Obviously I wasn't expecting to be super famous after, one show, or just in general. I don't really ever expect to be super famous. And that's not my goal either. But it's on Monday I went back to my job and I did my work as a software engineer. Right. And it's but I just had this really cool, amazing performance a couple days ago, and I don't know. There's just some disconnect there, and I'm man, this sucks, but it's also fun, and I want to do it again. But I remember after that first show, as I was packing up and thinking dude, that sucked. We sucked really bad. I watched the full performance multiple times. Just analyzing every single thing that we did wrong. And it took me probably about a week or two to be oh yeah, that was pretty good. It was our first performance, whatever. But I don't know. It was hard for me to be man, that was good. I did something good. I'm proud of myself. It's kind of what I was saying a little bit earlier of you wake up the next day and life's normal, right? Yeah. So it takes me a little bit to not critique myself and actually be proud of myself, I guess. But it was super cool, dude. I love music, and that kind of just started almost an insatiable hunger for just performing live, which we're planning to do a lot of this year, honestly. So anyway, fast forward a couple weeks to after, I don't know, I think it was a week or two after our first performance. Parker had like emailed a bunch of venues and reached out to a bunch of people to try to book our first show. And a couple of days, yeah, like I said, like a week after, venue reached out that he reached out 2 months ago, and like, hey, we got an opening on December 28th. Like, do you want to fill in? So we had like a week to like throw it together and be like, I mean, we played the same set and everything, but we threw it together, played another show. This show was completely different. There's like, oh, I guess I didn't even mention the first show was in someone's garage. It was amazing. It was an amazing venue, honestly. It was like a house party basically, and then you got music in the garage. Anyway, the second one was a music club. There's an actual sound system. Like you actually had wedges so you could actually hear yourself. I couldn't hear myself. I could hear myself better in the freaking garage. Anyway, wake up the day of the performance, and like I just knew I was going to be off mentally that day. I don't know. Like just some days I wake up and I'm like, dude, today's not the day. It's not the day. It's not going to work. And that was, I woke up like that day. And we're practicing beforehand, and I'm like looking around the room at all my bandmates, and I'm like, dude, they all hate me. Like they all hate me. I shouldn't even be trying to do music. Like I suck. Yeah, and I just had all these thoughts running through my head like the entire day. I didn't really tell the band any of this like before the performance because I'm like, I do not want to bring down the mood, but it definitely affected the performance. I mean, a couple reasons, right? So we got put on this bill, and the other two bands were not really in a similar genre to us. So the crowd was a little bit more dead, which is fine. Like we got invited to play, and like they put us on last second. Bands were cool, super cool people. Anyway, yeah, I just didn't feel good mentally. And I remember being on the stage like right before we're about to play the first note, and I'm like, I do not want to be here. Shit, I don't know. So I get through the performance. Oh yeah, dude, both of my hands cramped. I think my right hand cramped after like 4 songs, and then like my left hand cramped after, I think 2 songs before the set ended, and I was just miserable. It was a miserable set, miserable day, and it was just bad. Anyway, got through the set, and there's a person in one of the other bands that they're like, yeah, I cried at one of the songs, and I'm like, oh. I remember saying to them, I'm like, yeah, that was my least favorite song of the set. Because I really don't like the song. But it's not like I could just take that compliment, right? Anyway, at the end of the night, because it was paid to get in the venue, or like people paid to get in the venue, and they handed us our share of, I don't know what you call it. They handed the money that we made, right? And they handed me $65. And I just kind of looked at that, and I'm like, huh. Like, I made money playing music, right? Obviously, I didn't, like, put it straight into my pocket because, like, we have a band fund, right? But just the principle that I made money doing something that I love, even though it wasn't a really great day for me to love it. Yeah, so... which I'll touch on that a bit more on the third one. But yeah, that was the second performance. And kind of after I performed, like watching the other two bands perform, that kind of like reignited the, I guess the desire to play live. I'm like, dude, they're having so much fun, and I was just a bum on that stage. And I'll probably put like a clip of us playing somewhere in here if I already haven't.
I'm screaming at the person I've become, withdrawing from everything I
third one, that was January 10th, right? And a band, Sylvia, I mentioned them earlier. We played with them at the first show, and they're like, they loved us. They want to play with us again. So they invited us to play at a pizza place. It was a pizza bar place. It was awesome venue. Like, the sound was great. Had an actual sound guy that knew what he was doing. And I had probably about 20 to 25 of my friends show up, which was amazing. I am very fortunate to have a lot of friends in my life. And I'm very thankful for everyone that supports me. This one, we actually closed. We weren't the openers of this show. So there were 3 bands, Mainstay, Sylvia, and then us. Mainstay, they were a high school band. Like, they were, well, mostly high schoolers. I think 3 high schoolers, and then their drummer was in college. But for, like, as long as they've been a band, they were pretty freaking good. And from what they told me, they're going on tour sometime this summer. And then Sylvia was great, as always, right? And then, dude, the pizza was great. I love the pizza. Before the show, just had some pizza. I'm like, oh, dude, this is great. I love pizza. One of my favorite meals. Anyway, so this show, I was pumped. I'm like, dude, we're going to kill it. You know, practice beforehand, get there like 2 hours early because load in was 2 hours before the show for whatever reason. Eat some pizza, hang out with some friends, you know, watch, you know, Mainstay and Sylvia perform. And we got up on that stage and we freaking killed it. Like, after this performance, so I think I've had, besides my wife, I've had 2 friends that showed up to every single show, and both of them were like, yeah, that show was amazing. Which I'll throw some clips up. I didn't get an actual like full video of this one, so we only have clips, but I'll probably link the other 2 full performances down below or something. So this one, we were in sync. The band was amazing. I couldn't hear myself at all. So the entire performance, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I remember thinking like halfway through the set, and I'm like, I really hope I'm singing in key because I cannot hear myself. But by now you'll probably have seen that I wear these goofy like Vic Firth like over the ear muffs, and the reason I do is so I can actually hear myself somewhat. That kind of is kind of contradictory. But if I put straight up earplugs in my ears, the way that my voice resonates is completely different than if I have something over the ear. So that's why I wear them, so I can actually, you know, sing in key for the most part. We killed that show. It was amazing. And like, you know, I had 25 friends show up. So they were a freaking great crowd. Like, they were in there moshing. I had multiple friends crowd surf. It was great. After that show, I'm like this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. Is just play shows and like have fun. Oh yeah, going back to what I said earlier, you know, it was a $5 entry fee, so we got paid again. I think we got paid like $110, and then we made like $350 off merch, something like that. So we ended up taking home like $460. I don't remember the exact number. And like this time, you know, since I was in a little bit better mood, they handed me the money. It's like, you know, like I said, over $100. And I'm like, I showed up. I had a freaking great time. I got to eat pizza. I got to hang out with my friends, show my friends like what I'm passionate about. And then you're handing me money? You know, it's a wild concept to me because I've been told my entire life, oh, you can't make money off playing music, right? So not that I'm making like a ton of money, but the principle that I'm making money off of something I enjoy is just like, that's crazy to me, right? Anyway, I remember my wife telling me that, you know, her and then Logan's wife looked at each other like after the show, and they just both said, wow, like that was the best show yet. And my friend Rance, he came up to me. He didn't come up to me after the show, but we talked a couple days later, and like how I kind of reason in my head of like of what he said to me. He's like, so what's the plan with the band, right? So in my head internally, I'm like because he said it was a killer show. He's like, he kind of saw that like, oh, they're actually good. Like they're actually good. They can perform. They can do what they you know. They came there to do. So in my head, how I reason what he said is, like, oh, like you guys are actually good. Like, what's the plan with the band? Like, what are you planning on doing? And I'm like, honestly, we can't go on tour because I'm the only one in the band without a kid, and I have a chronic illness that I need my medication, and I have to sit down and get infusions every 2 weeks for 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours, whatever. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what the band is. We're just having fun for now. So yeah. And then, oh yeah, I had a guy come up to me and talk to me for like 30 minutes after the show. Didn't know him. And he was like, he really liked us. And he like drove from far away to come see a show where we played. I'm not going to say exactly where we played. I mean, you can look it up, I guess, right? But apparently he got the date wrong, so him and his girlfriend went to the, you know, closest show, which was our show. And he just like nerded out about music and then us for like 30 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know this person. This person was not invited by anyone, and they showed up and they liked us. Like I said, like in the moment, like it's hard for me to like take that and like, oh, we're actually good. Like I'm good at music. What I did like was actually good. Which sounds contrary to what I was saying, like we killed it, yada, yada, yada. It's more of an internal feeling of like, I had a great time. I don't know. It's really hard for me to explain how I feel exactly, but I guess those were kind of like the first 3 shows. And like I said, it's February 11th now. I talked to the guys in the band, and we're itching to play some more music. We have another one coming up on 3/26 and then 4/19, which we're preparing for. Writing new music, all the things. Just having a killer time. But yeah, that's kind of my reflection. Apologize if I sound a little congested, sick. And yeah, anyway. That's it. As always, stay genuine.